You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. LSU, Florida, Saturday from the Swamp. And going into this one, both teams actually have real quarterback questions. And both Brian Kelly and Billy Napier Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference were asked about their respective quarterback questions. The questions, however, are of a vastly different variety. Let's start with Billy Napier. So the quick catch-up, as you know, Graham Mertz, the Wisconsin transfer, was injured, lost for the season. Actually, his career is over due to that injury. DJ Lagway, the freshman 5-star, number one quarterback in the country, was starting in place of Graham Mertz. Well, 2 weeks ago against Georgia, Lagway suffered such a severe hamstring injury, he was carted off the field. Dressed but did not play last week against Texas. He's from Texas, so prevailing wisdom there is he wanted to dress in his home state. A lot of his family and friends there. Wanted to be in uniform on the sideline, but wasn't going to play. Well, now we're on to Wednesday. Billy Napier on Monday was asked about Lagway, said he's progressing. Here's the update Wednesday morning about the 5-star quarterback.
DJ continues to improve. I think we've seen progress every day. And I think that's allowed him to participate more in practice. Obviously, we're kind of controlling that environment. But in general, I think we continue to trend in the right direction.
So, trending in the right direction. Listen, I'm not an expert on soft tissue injuries, but you and I have watched enough sports. Like, yesterday on the show, we talked about Jose Alvarado from the Pelicans, hamstring injury. He's out 6 weeks. Like, Zion's out for the rest of the year. That's a little bit of hyperbole. But understand, like, when you're talking about a player that's that explosive, a hamstring injury isn't something you just come back from here. There's the snap. It's a second day in a row. The snap just kind of.
That got you yesterday,
what's going on with that? Like,
better friction.
I mean, I'm good at snapping.
Yeah.
Whistling, I'm good at all that.
Yeah.
I can
you
suck
do
or blow.
The one with your fingers
No,
in your
can't
mouth?
do
No,
that.
you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Snap with both hands?
What you mean?
Like, I can't snap with my left hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I can only snap my right hand.
I got it.
Huh?
Anyway, I don't know why. It just evaded me. As I was saying, so Lagway is trying to come back from a hamstring injury. Even if he plays, it's hard to imagine him anywhere near 100%. Remember, this was DJ, we played this for you, but this was DJ Lagway's mother on, do you have it, the name of the podcast?
It's Stadium and Gale.
The Stadium and Gale podcast, when she was asked about her son playing through this injury.
Yeah, I don't know. I was freaking out when I saw him out there warming up because he had already told me that he wasn't going to play. And then my youngest, I was like, Mom, look at him. He's geared up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so, but my professional trade, I'm a physical therapist. Even though they don't respect me as a physical therapist, they only see me as mama. But I'm a physical therapist. So I've always told them, listen to your body will tell you. And so that's always been really big with me to tell my boys to pay attention to your bodies. And I say, don't rush it, don't push it, but they are competitors. And I know that competitive part. So everything in him wants to play.
Wants to play. She was saying that was Saturday against Texas where she was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's dressed. So that's Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 4 days ago. Actually, when she did that podcast, it would have been 3 days prior. So anyway, the point being, I don't know that we see Lagway. If you don't, you see Aiden Warner, the freshman transfer from Yale, who had a really rough day against Texas, completed less than 50% of his passes, about 120 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, only ran 3 times for negative yardage. It's obviously sack yardage. If Lagway can't go, major benefit to LSU. And if Lagway can go, I don't see Lagway being very dynamic running, another benefit to LSU. We'll follow it and see. On the flip side, obviously, Brian Kelly is looking at his quarterback, who at times this year has been absolutely sensational, but the turnover bug has bitten Garrett Nussmeier the last 2 games, which prompted Wilson Alexander on the SEC Coaches Teleconference Wednesday morning to ask Brian Kelly about a potential quarterback change.
With Garrett Nussmeier lately, the interceptions and turnovers, is there any consideration being made to a quarterback change?
No, absolutely none. He gives us the best chance to be successful. And, that's kind of where we're at relative to first or second. We have to do a better job for him. He's got to do a better job. And we believe in him. And we believe that as we continue to grow in the first year of a starter, that he gives us the best chance to be successful.
I would like to point out, Brian Kelly's completely right, by the way. Garrett Nussmeier, as of right now, has thrown for 2,866 yards. That would be 7th all-time in a single season in LSU history. Ahead of Matt Mauck, by the way, in 2003 when they won the national championship, and just about 30 yards behind Joe Burrow in 2018. He's got 3 regular season games to go and the bowl game at least. So at least 4 more games for Nuss here. Garrett Nussmeier at this pace is going to probably pass Rohan Davey for the third best single season in LSU history, being behind only Joe Burrow, who in 2019 threw for 5,671 yards. He didn't just throw for 5,000. He threw for 5,600 yards. And then second, Jaden Daniels' Heisman season, where Jaden threw for 3,800 yards. Again, underscoring the absurdity of Joe Burrow, who threw for 2,000 more yards than Jaden Daniels, although Burrow did have 3 extra games. Anyway, 21 touchdowns as well for Nuss at this point. And 5.5 quarters ago, as Brian Kelly said, they were asking Nuss to stand on his head. The turnovers the last 2 games are absolutely a problem. I'm not excusing them. You got to fix it. But to think the answer is to turn away from a guy that had won 6 straight games for you, that was so nails against Ole Miss, that led you to a great win on the road a dominant win on the road against Arkansas, to think that going away from Nussmeier is the answer and going to a redshirt freshman and Ricky Collins just seems foolish. What you need is to coach Garrett Nussmeier better and to coach the interceptions and the turnovers out of him. That's going to make you the best version of you this week. Brian Kelly was also asked a follow-up about Nussmeier and how he can sort of improve at this point.
If we're not seeing things the way we need to, then we're doing too much, right? It's always been my experience in 30 plus years of coaching that if it's not resonating, then you need to do less. Less is more, all right? Then there's a place to start. It's not the interception. It's where are we starting? And generally it's the basics. It's the fundamentals. So I think in everything in life, we go back to the fundamentals. And so, can we make things easier from a coaching standpoint that allows us to be consciously competent to the level of, an unconscious competent where I don't even have to think about it. I know it so well. I mean, that's where we want to get to.
And that comes with experience. And that's why I believe you have seen that inflection point, that parabolic run, that hockey stick curve for Joe Burrow, for Jaden Daniels, back with Zach Medberg in their 5th season, their 2nd season as a starter. The more experience you get, naturally, the more comfortable you're going to be, the more natural those responses become. Once you've seen everything. And Garrett Nussmeier will get there. Stick with him. Good opportunity this week against a Florida defense that, as we've detailed, is statistically the worst defense you will have faced all year. Always tough to go on the road, tough to go in the swamp, but this is a manageable situation for LSU. Go manage it. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.